What is up guys, and welcome to KaiCreative and to another filmmaking video. My name is Kai Song. I'm a London-based videographer, editor, filmmaker and animator, and today we are talking about using sliders in our video productions. So sliders come in all different forms. I personally own two traditional sliders and one ribbon-based slider. The traditional style sliders are super long and awkward to carry. And over the years, I've opted to use the ribbon-based slider more and more because it covers the same amount of distance but is half the size. Its ribbon-based pulley system allows it to move over twice its length. Now, all of my sliders are manual, and this means that you control the action yourself. But companies like Eldacron are now producing electronic mechanical sliders that you can control with your phone, and which enable you to retake the exact same shots for special effects, as well as do amazing time-lapse videos. I don't currently own one, but it's definitely on my wish list. So why do we use sliders in filmmaking? When we mount our camera to a slider and move it, it creates something called a parallaxing effect. And this parallaxing effect is pleasing to the eye. The reason why we tend to enjoy looking at parallaxing shots is because we normally see things in 3 dimensions and a normal still video is only 2 dimensions. When we add the subtle movement of a slider to our shot, our eyes are able to see behind things and our minds are able to feel or comprehend the depth of those objects or people in that space. This helps us to identify things in 3 dimensions, which is what we normally see in. So when is the best time to use a slider? I've personally used sliders at weddings, for events, on music videos, and for short films. And I mainly use them for establishing shots, detail shots, reveal shots, and B-roll. Generally, having a wider angle lens makes the shift in movement much more subtle than if we were filming on something with a focal length of 35mm or more. Now, that's not to say that you always have to shoot with a wide angle lens. It depends on what you're filming. As an example, shots of buildings might require a wider lens than filming details inside. If we wanted to capture the details on a table at a wedding or at an event, we might use a larger focal length. Here we have an example of a reveal shot. This is from a wedding trailer I created last year. Now, I could have shown the bride straight away, but the reveal shot from the slider coming from behind the cupboard makes the scene much more interesting. It also allowed me to track the names of the bride and groom in there in After Effects. So this works as a double reveal, not just revealing the bride, but also the couple's names. As another example, for a music video that we shot with the indie group Flyzig, we used a telephoto lens along with the walls in an abandoned warehouse to reveal the band on slider shots. When it comes to shooting B-roll, I also like to incorporate slider shots with the rule of 3s. So I'll have the slider shot as one of the 3 shots. Now, if you'd like to learn more about using the rule of 3s in filmmaking, please check out a video we made before, link in the description below. I've also used sliders in the past for interviews as secondary safety shots. This adds a bit of movement to an otherwise static interview. So how exactly do we use these manual sliders? The key to getting great slider footage is subtle movement. Actually, we don't need a very long slider for this. The range that we use in the edit is generally no longer than a few seconds. Again, companies like Eldacron have cottoned onto this and they've manufactured these teeny tiny little sliders that can fit in your back pocket and they claim are just as effective. Now, I personally haven't used them, but from experience, I've noticed that the longer the slider is, the more room it provides for error. Now, this is especially true for correction in speed. For example, you might move too quickly into the slide, find the right timing, and then you might move out too slowly out of the slide, or vice versa. Now, that sweet spot in the middle where you find the right speed is often what I use in the final edit. Obviously, if you've got digital electronic sliders, you don't have this problem. Now, longer sliders do have their limitations too. In the early days when I bought my first slider, it was not practical to carry around at weddings because it was far too long. I had to be careful not to hit guests, especially at smaller venues. Having the smaller sliders were much more practical. Obviously, you will get used to your specific slider over time and will know how it works and when to use it. Now, when it comes to slider shots, I'd also like to add a little warning about overdoing it. As with most things, balance is needed. Nobody wants to watch a wedding trailer or promotional video of just slider shots, or one slider shot cut after another slider shot. Additionally, the more times we use slider shots in our material, the less impact they have. So my advice here would be to choose a few of your very best slider shots and include these into your video production. So that's today's video on using sliders. I hope you found it useful. If you did, then please leave us a like, and if you can, please do share this video. Now, we're building a film making library on KaiCreative, so please do subscribe to our channel and check out all the other awesome filmmaking videos that we have. Additionally, if there are any topics that you would like to see covered in the future, let me know in the comment section below. As always, stay creative, imagine, implement, and inspire, and I'll see you guys next time on KaiCreative.